How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? This is a story about a young man and his wife who tried desperately and in vain to lead a normal life. The husband had a brother, a talented and dependent brother whose life was an eternal crisis. He bombarded them with telegrams and letters and more telegrams, so that he seemed like a sort of intrusive third person in their home and in their relationship. What makes this story interesting and exciting to us is that this demanding brother was a genius, a very great genius, and his name was Vincent Van Gogh. Now, our story is not the well-known one of this great and troubled artist, but of the other Van Gogh.
You won't make it any better by fussing over it. Where's the sense in lighting the candles now? They'll be burned out before he gets here.
Oh, he'll be here in a few minutes.
Oh, who ever heard of a husband being on time for his anniversary? And a 6-month anniversary at that.
My husband is always on time. I want him to see them when he comes in. Oh, isn't it pretty?
Ought to be with all your fussing. You've forgotten something, though.
What?
The third chair.
The third chair? Oh, Anna, do you think I'd invite anybody to share our anniversary with us?
He doesn't have to be invited. You know who I mean. Have you ever known a day since you've been married that he hasn't been here? Vincent this, Vincent that. Vincent in trouble, Vincent ill, Vincent broke. Vincent. Morning, noon, and night. I had 6 years with the two of them before you came along. I've seen some of the things that painting brother's done to your husband. I've seen him wreck the place that Theo worked so hard to get together for them to live in. Throw the furniture out of the window, tear down the drapes, and smash everything in bits. And he had one of his fits. Not that it's any good my talking to you. You've never seen Vincent. Just wait till you meet him.
Anybody in?
Only me, darling.
Only you. Of course, I'm terribly disappointed.
Oh, they are beautiful.
Aren't they? They're like the flowers in one of Vincent's pictures.
Is that why you bought them? Because they remind you of one of Vincent's pictures?
No, darling. I simply meant they're even lovely enough to give to you.
What's in this?
Now, wait and see. Where am I? In a palace? Such splendor. Beautiful. Beautiful. And wine.
All right. They're always on time for the first anniversary party, so don't say I told you so. Just wait till the next one.
Oh, what have we here? Oh. Now, who in the world would have thought of making my favorite dish? First, the wine. To us, my darling, the most adorable wife, and the luckiest husband that ever lived, and to the happiest 6 months I've ever known.
Now it's my turn.
Well, a toast?
Well, it isn't so much a toast. It's more of a wish. It's that every day might be like this always. Just this belonging to ourselves wholly as we do now. Is that a toast?
A wonderful toast.
All right, I'll get it.
Mr. Theodore Van Gogh?
Yes?
1 franc, 20 centimes to pay.
Is it Vincent again?
They have arrested me. I'm charged with drunkenness and violence. The horror is I can't remember any of it. Is it because I have deserted God, brother, that God has deserted me?
You left out something. What's the fine this time?
75 francs.
Slightly more than twice our monthly rent.
There's a train at 9 that I can catch.
I'll go pack your bag.
Don't pack more than a shirt or two, dear. I'll be back day after tomorrow.
Theo, I want to...
Vincent.
Poor anniversary. Something like this always seems to happen at the wrong moment for us, doesn't it?
It isn't his fault, Joe. He can't help it. And through it all, he never stops working. Nearly 3 paintings a week. It's astounding, Joe.
Theo, before
Please
you go,
try to understand. He's not like us. He's got to be free to work. He's a genius. And one day, he'll be called the greatest Dutch painter since Rembrandt, believe me. He'll repay us 10,000-fold for all that we're doing for him.
Theo, it isn't so much the money. It's for times like this when we want to belong so much to ourselves. Can paintings ever pay for those?
No. Nothing can pay us for those. But wait, Joe, until you know him the way I know him.
Theo, I have something.
I've got to hurry if I'm going to catch the train.
Vincent, always Vincent. The Vincent she had never seen, but whose presence haunted this house more and more every day. And now today, this remote and mysterious brother-in-law was here again, in the room, in the house, seated in the empty chair.
Are you listening to me? What's the good of me trying to cheer you up if you aren't? Didn't you hear me say that he would not return the next day or the next or the next or the next?
Yes, I heard you.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to understand what's so wonderful about these. Did you ever see a cornfield like that? Or a man like that? They look to me like the awkward drawings of a child.
Well, I told you that's what he is.
The colors are pretty, though, aren't they? Look at that yellow. So full of sunshine. Oh, still, I can't seem to...
What are you upsetting yourself about? The only one who sees anything in them is your husband. No one else does. Look at all the people he brought in here to see them. Did he sell any of them? Of course not. Who's going to pay good money for that sort of thing?
Joe?
I'm in here.
Joe, darling, I've got the most wonderful news. Oh. Vincent's going to be all right. I've found a doctor who's going to take him in and treat him.
A doctor to...
And he's going to take Vincent's paintings as payment instead of money. Isn't that wonderful? The first sale that my brother ever made. Oh, Joe, I can't tell you what this means to me.
What doctor?
Well, he's a Dr. Gasher. It's not going to cost a penny. The wonderful part is that Vincent can go right on painting. You see, it's in the countryside.
Theo, you haven't answered my question. What is Vincent being treated for?
What for? Well, for his sickness.
Oh, what is his sickness?
What is it?
Yes. Is it... Is Vincent insane?
What? Vincent, and how can you even think such a thing, Johanna?
I want the truth. I I've got to know the truth. I've got to know.
Johanna, what's the matter with you?
I'm going to have a baby, Theo. Another Van Gogh. That's why I've got to know. I tried to tell you it was supposed to be part of our anniversary together, but you had to go.
Oh.
He spoiled even that moment.
Oh, and you thought that Vincent's illness... Oh, Joe, I understand now. I never even dreamed, Joe. A baby? Joe, our child...
Theo, please answer my question.
Oh, no, he's not insane. He's sick, that's all. He's sick with a love of beauty. It fills him to overflowing. It tears and rends him in his effort to escape through his pictures. That's the meaning of his rages, that they come from an agony of frustration, and the only peace that he can find is to paint and paint and paint. That's his sickness, the sickness of genius. And one day the whole world will know it.
You love him very much, don't you?
He's my brother.
Then I'm your wife. And a wife and a husband must be first in each other's lives. That's the meaning of marriage, Theo.
But, my darling, it's not like my love for you. It's quite different. It's a mixture of pity for his suffering and duty. The duty of treasuring his genius, but there's nothing of either pity or duty in my love for you. That's whole and complete of itself. Do you understand?
I'll try to. I want to. Oh, Theo, I want to. Oh, Theo, I love you.
And in these months when you, Joe, need Theo so much, it is always I who need him more. Yet, Joe, you're doing what you want, loving Theo and forming a beautiful child. You're lucky. Theo's doing what he wants. He wants you and the baby, and he wants me to be an artist. And he's lucky. And about myself, when Dr. Gachet lets me put my pack on my back, I go out to the fields and dusty roads and I paint. I have come to accept the fact that the darkness will come back and they will find me lying in a ditch. There's always someone to pick me up and put a brush in my hands. That's Theo. And you, and maybe the baby, too. I'm doing the best work of my life for you, so I'm lucky, too. Bless you, Vincent.
What a gentle letter.
Yes, he is gentle. When he's happy and free of the pain, he's kind and gentle. Oh, Joe, you should see the way he looks at a flower and touches it. Just the simplest wild flower. You should see his eyes when he looks at this, the fields and the sky. That's the real Vincent. The man in love with beauty. Joe, if the baby's a boy, could we name him Vincent?
Theo.
He's just gone to sleep.
Doesn't he do that beautifully?
Everything he does is beautiful.
That must be the doctor. He said he'd come in this morning. Is it the doctor?
Anna.
All right, I'm coming. I wasn't going to give it to you. Not in here, anyhow. I paid for this one myself. I've been wondering when it was going to come.
Open it, Theo.
You'd better burn it.
Open it. It may be important.
Listen to this. Dear Theo, one last extravagance to tell you that these past nights I have paced the floor, not sick, but with joy. Tell Joe, only those who cannot love do not think a newborn baby is beautiful. But Joe will know. Forget about me for a while. Love, Vincent.
Now I believe in miracles.
Let me have it. Only those who cannot love do not think a newborn baby is beautiful. But Joe will know. He really understands, doesn't he?
He understands everything beautiful, like you and the baby.
I'd like to write to him. May I?
Oh, Joe, he'd love it, do. You don't know what it would do for him.
Then get me a pen and some paper.
Oh, it's right here. I was going to write myself. All right, you just tell me what to say.
Dear Vincent, the baby is strong and husky, and when you see him, it'll make you happy and well. I promise you'll forget all your problems then. And when you take...
And when you take him...
I was going to say... And when you take little Vincent...
What?
You'll hold him high above your head and laugh with him.
No. What did you say before that? When you take...
Little Vincent.
You mean the baby?
Oh, well.
You mean you want to name him after Vincent?
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
Oh, like it, Joe? Oh, you don't know what a heavenly kindness you'd be doing, how happy it will make him. Oh, bless you. Bless you.
Well, all I've got to say is I'm glad I don't have to spend too much time in here.
Aren't the colors lovely?
Why didn't he paint things the way they look?
Oh, don't ask me. Do you know, the more I look at them, the more I like them. Theo will be pleased anyhow. And you can say what you like, they do brighten up this room.
They certainly do. The place looks as if it's exploding.
Come on, let's get finished.
How many more are you going to put up?
Well, how many more nails have you got?
3.
Yep, we might as well use them.
That'll be the milkman.
Why is the milk so late this morning?
It isn't the milk.
Oh?
I'm not so sure about this one. It was already paid for.
Mr. Theodore Van Gogh. I wonder.
Well, go on, open it. Let's know the worst.
Well, I have to read it sometime. Vincent critically ill. Come at once. Dr. Gachet.
I thought so. I thought this peace and quiet couldn't go on.
Get Theo's bag packed. We'll have to hurry.
Where are you going?
Take this to Theo, of course.
But why?
Well, he'll have to go at once. Vincent will need him. Hurry.
The baby's fast asleep. Candles?
Why not? He'll need cheering up.
Oh, he will. Poor Mr. Theo.
Poor Vincent, too. I wonder what he did die of.
Oh, well, maybe it's all for the best. We all have to go sooner or later. Oh, come on, Miss Joe. Don't you start worrying, too. Mr. Theo will get over it. Everybody does. That chicken must be ready by now.
Theo. I'll take your coat. Theo. Theo.
Shot himself. Shot himself. No one was there. No one to help him. No one knew.
Theo. Theo, darling.
No one knew. He shot himself in the stomach. And then he walked with his hand over the wound all the way to his room. No one knew. No one knew. Why? Why? Why?
Don't. Darling, you're here with me, Joe. Come on, darling, I'll take you to your room.
You don't understand, Joe. He shot himself and no one knew.
Yes, Theo, yes.
He said he was alone. He said he shot himself because he was alone. He said he'd lost me because of you and the child. I failed him.
But that isn't true,
But
Theo.
it is, Joe.
It isn't true.
He said so. He said that he didn't want to go on living alone. I failed him. I killed him. I killed him.
Theo, you didn't. Oh, darling. Come on. Come with me. Come on. Come on. Come on. You get into bed and I'll get you some brandy and an extra blanket. Anna. Theo. Get a doctor quickly. What are you going to do, Anna?
Whatever you're going to do, of course.
I haven't any money, you know.
When did you ever have any money? Could sell everything.
Sell everything?
Well, you can't afford to stay here unless you take in a lodger or two. The place certainly needs clearing out. All that junk.
What junk?
Those paintings. We can begin by clearing out those. And all these stacks of letters, too. I haven't been able to do any proper dusting in here for months.
I can't do that.
Well, then what are you going to do with them?
I'm going to do what Theo would have done. I'm going to show them.
Who's going to want to look at them?
The more I look at them, the more that something, I don't know what it is, but there's something that seems alive. That's it. They are alive, and that is a wheat field, and that is the sky, and those are flowers. Not as we see them, but as he saw them with the eyes of genius. And he shows them to us in all their color and wonder. And they are beautiful. Anna, I don't know if he was a genius, but Theo knew it. And the world is going to know it. I'm going to see to it that it does. And it will. It will.
There's an important footnote to our story, ladies and gentlemen, and after this brief announcement, I'd like to tell you about it. Joanna, who died only recently, devoted the rest of her life to the celebration of her great brother-in-law's genius and to the vindication of her dead husband's taste. She published the famous letters, and from the sale of the paintings became rich, and so indeed did all of us.